Hi, I'm Asia, and welcome back to the Strange Days Diaries. Today, I'm going to talk all about my tips for van lifers visiting the beautiful city by the bay. I'm currently parked at Marina Green, and there's some kids playing soccer right in front of me, so if you hear random yelling, that is why. So, San Francisco. We all know the media loves to portray San Francisco as this terrifying place. Don't come. It's full of crime. You're gonna get your car broken into. It's terrifying. Oh my God. But we all know if you live here or if you visited that that's not exactly true. Bipping is definitely a real threat here and it happens all over the city. It also happens in pretty much every major city in the United States, unfortunately. And if you don't know what bipping is, it's just when a thief, unfortunately, smashes your car window and grabs whatever they can see that they think is worth any value. And it just sucks, and it's definitely a van lifer's worst nightmare. But San Francisco is amazing, and I always recommend people come and visit. So let's talk about all my tips for you as van lifers coming to San Francisco, where to park for the day, what to do with your van during the day, and where to sleep in the city. And these are all tips coming from me, having lived in San Francisco for the last 8 years and having used my self-converted camper van as my daily driver in San Francisco for the last 4 years, and having lots of nomadic family and friends come visit me in their vans and stay here in the city. I'm gonna first touch on where I recommend you park your van for the day, either to leave your van for the day and go explore the city, or to actually hang out in your van at all day in the city. A quick side note I wanna touch on really quick is, in my opinion, the best way to visit and explore San Francisco is by bus or Uber. So the spots that I'm about to recommend, I do think are really safe to leave your van parked at during the day while you bus around or Uber around the city. I always recommend people bus or Uber to explore the city because most of the main districts people want to visit, like Fisherman's Wharf, the Mission, Chinatown, Japantown, Haight-Ashbury, they're all pretty much in the downtown core. And what's so nice about that is that the downtown core is very, very accessible by bus or Muni. It's also a very walkable city, but beyond that, parking is so hard to find in San Francisco, specifically downtown. So these 3 spots I'm about to recommend would be the perfect spot to leave your van for the day or hang out for the day in the van safely in San Francisco. So those 3 spots are Marina Green, Battery Godfrey, and Ocean Beach. I do want to quickly note that these 3 spots are daylight use spots only. You cannot park here overnight. Pretty sure you can't even park here and stay here past sunset. And you most definitely cannot sleep here. So they're daylight use places only. Obviously, no place is 100% safe to leave your van at all day, especially in a major city. But if you take these precautions I'm about to talk about very seriously and listen to my recommendations, then you'll have a very high likelihood of having good luck while leaving your van here and exploring San Francisco. My first tip would be every single time you leave your van, whether it be for literally 10 minutes or all day, I highly recommend you drop all of your curtains and close your cab curtain or cab door if you have one. You're gonna also wanna hide literally everything of value behind the curtains, like in the back of the van when you leave the van. Bippers are looking for anything of value, so if you're seeing something in your cab and you're not super sure and you're questioning about hiding it, if you're questioning it, hide it. That's just the rule of thumb in my opinion. This also goes for things hanging off the back or sides of your van, like bicycles or any kind of extra storage boxes that you may have. If it's possible, I know it's not always possible, but if possible, throw it into your car, hide it, because people unfortunately do steal the stuff that's hanging on the back of cars. I do want to say really quickly that just because I've had really good luck and my friends and family visiting in vans have had really good luck leaving their vans at these top 3 spots that I mentioned, it doesn't mean that it's a foolproof 100% safe spot to leave your van. Nothing's gonna happen. It's still San Francisco. It's still a city. Shit still happens. So go with your gut, take all my precautions seriously, and you should be good to go. But obviously, no place is 100% safe. Another tip I want to hit on for van lifers visiting San Francisco is I highly recommend you do not park your van downtown at all. Obviously, this isn't always possible. You're going to be in the city. There probably will be moments you need to park your van downtown, and you should be fine. But I'm recommending this because bipping is the worst downtown San Francisco and at tourist spots. And beyond that, finding parking downtown, especially for a big van or rig, is really, really hard. San Francisco is a very walkable city. It's also a pretty small city, so a lot of the streets are small, parking is kind of at a premium, especially downtown. So in my opinion, I would just avoid it, which is why I had those top 3 spots I recommended. You park and just leave your van for the day while you bus or Uber and explore the city that way. And now I'm gonna talk about the places that I recommend you park and sleep for the night while visiting San Francisco. If you're super gung-ho on wanting to stay in San Francisco proper and you don't wanna go to the Marin Headlands or to Pacifica and spend the night at one of the campgrounds out there, then I really only have one spot that I recommend you spend the night while visiting. And that is parking for the night at the Battery Spencer parking lot. Now I know Battery Spencer isn't exactly in San Francisco, but it is just across the Golden Gate Bridge. And not only is it a spot that I personally and friends and family of mine have spent the night at in our vans before, but it's also an awesome place to go visit just in general while you're visiting San Francisco. Battery Spencer provides one of the best views of the Golden Gate Bridge with the city of San Francisco in the background. It's just gorgeous, so I highly recommend you visit. But we're not talking about visiting, we're talking about sleeping here. So let me get into it. I want to note that the last time I spent the night here was in 2023, and the last time I believe my friends and family spent the night here in their rigs was also in 2023, and I'm currently filming this in February of 2024. And I did check iOverlander before filming this video, and I did notice that there were a couple pins just down the street from the Battery Spencer parking lot, and all of the recent reviews talked about how there's no overnight camping allowed now on that street, and a lot of them were moved along by the cops, and that was kind of recently. But these were pins, like not exactly at the Battery Spencer parking lot area that I'm recommending, so I'm not super sure if it's allowed now or not. Last year it was totally allowed, not sure how it is now, so you would have to just go out there and figure it out yourself. I don't know if they have no overnight parking signs up now or what, but again, as of last year, I had no problems spending the night out there a couple times, and same with my family. I also want to quickly note that Battery Spencer is a pretty popular tourist spot, especially for photos of people by the Golden Gate Bridge and to watch the sunset, stuff like that. And because of this, bippers have started targeting this parking lot too. So I just quickly wanted to note that, but I don't want it to deter you from going out there. It is a beautiful place to go visit while you're in San Francisco, and it's probably still a great place to spend the night. Just take your precautions, go with your gut, drop your curtains when you leave your rig, and you should be good to go. But before I end the video, I do want to end it with my number one suggestion, actually, that you spend the night at when you're visiting San Francisco, and that is spending the night parked at the Pacifica State Beach. Again, if you're not willing to pay for a campground in Pacifica or the Marin Headlands, which I think are like the closest places to San Francisco with proper campgrounds that you can pay and stay at, and I recommend staying at the Pacifica State Beach parking lot. The parking lot is free to stay at from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and it's only $9 to park at all day. It's also really close to a Safeway. It's literally right by a Taco Bell cantina, and it's literally right on the beach. It's actually a really cool place to just hang out all day if you want. And it's only a 20-minute drive from San Francisco, so it's not far at all from the city, especially if you're here really to explore and be in San Francisco. So I think that just about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe. If any of my tips resonated with you, let me know in the comments down below if you took any of my advice and it worked out well. I hope it does. I really think it will if you take the little precaution warnings that I talked about and sprinkled throughout this video. I love San Francisco. I've been here for 8 years. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I am a part-time nomad, so I travel all the time, and someday I do hope to hit the road full time, but San Francisco will always be my home base. I love San Francisco, and I know that you will too, and it's definitely a place that I highly recommend you visit, especially if you're on the road. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next Friday.